You know, in the huge, kind of confusing world of the internet, a totally new kind of guide has shown up. And now they're not doctors or scientists, but for millions of people, they're an absolute lifeline, a source of hope for some of life's most personal questions. They're what you might call the digital doulas.
Just think about that for a second. This is a real question from a real person, posted during a live stream. It's a little window into this incredibly personal journey, a journey that sends millions of people looking for answers, not in some sterile clinic, but in the lively and, yeah, chaotic world of online creators.
So when the road to pregnancy gets bumpy, filled with things like miscarriage, hormonal issues, or just this deep, deep desire for a certain outcome, that need for information becomes so urgent. And when the traditional medical world feels a little cold, a little impersonal, people find new places, new communities, and new experts online.
To really get what's happening here, we're going to do a deep dive into a real powerhouse in this space. It's a YouTube channel from Egypt called Secrets of Pregnancy with Mena. Through these long, totally unedited live streams, Mena has built this kind of digital sanctuary for women looking for help with fertility.
Okay, so what exactly are people coming for? Well, the heart and soul of Mena's channel are her recipes. We're talking about specific, step-by-step advice that mixes old-school herbal traditions with diet tips to tackle her followers' biggest worries.
And the questions that just flood her chat, wow, they are so personal and you can just feel the anxiety behind them. People are dealing with really complex stuff like ovarian cysts and fibroids, or they're looking for help after the trauma of a miscarriage, or they're trying to influence the gender of their next baby. For them, the stakes couldn't be higher.
And just look how specific the advice gets. You want to conceive a boy? Mena's list is crystal clear. Load up on things like bananas and pineapple. But, and this is a big but, stay away from store-bought chicken and dairy. She says they make the body more acidic.
This is such a great example of how hands-on her advice is. This is her recipe for one-day ovary activation. She gives these super precise instructions. Mix these 5 things, stuff them in dates, eat them, and then follow up with a warm massage. It's tangible, it's accessible, and most of all, it gives her followers a real sense of control.
Now, those spices, they're not just random. They're part of a bigger toolkit she uses. A lot of her remedies pull from this core set of herbs that are deeply rooted in traditional medicine. You'll see things like marjoram, sage, and olive leaves pop up again and again for everything from balancing hormones to helping after a miscarriage.
But here's the thing. The advice, the recipes, the herbs, that's only one part of the story. If you actually watch her live streams, you notice something else, something you'd never, ever see in a doctor's office. It's chaos. And that chaos, well, that might just be her secret weapon.
I mean, her live streams are constantly getting interrupted. Right here, her young son, Ollie, just wanders into the shot with his simple but very urgent request. This is not a polished TV production. This is just raw, real life happening in real time.
And her reaction isn't some calm, cool media personality. No, it's the response of a mom. She's frazzled, she's multitasking, she's trying to juggle her work and her family at the same time, all while thousands of people are watching her live.
So why does this work? In a world of perfectly curated Instagram feeds and flawless YouTube videos, why is this unfiltered, messy reality so compelling? Could it be that this chaos, this flaw, is actually the most important feature of her entire channel?
Psychology actually has a term for this. It's called a parasocial relationship. And all these interruptions, this authentic chaos, it just shatters the barrier between the creator and the viewer. She's not just some expert talking at you. She's a relatable mom going through the same daily struggles. That authenticity builds this incredible level of trust and intimacy that a formal clinical setting almost never can.
And that trust, well, that's the foundation for something even bigger. See, people might come to Mena for a recipe, but they stay for the community. She's managed to build this incredible space where sharing your struggles creates these really powerful bonds.
This table breaks it down perfectly. It doesn't matter if the goal is conceiving a boy or getting through a medical issue like ovarian cysts or healing after a miscarriage. The channel gives everyone a shared game plan. But more importantly, it provides mutual support. It turns these private, isolating struggles into a journey you take together.
And absolutely nothing fuels that community like a success story. This is a direct quote from one of her followers. After 12 years of trying, after seeing who knows how many doctors, she followed Mena's advice for 3 months, and she got pregnant. I mean, these testimonials are like rocket fuel for belief and hope in the group.
So let's be clear here.
While this whole thing is absolutely a community built on empathy, it's also a very, very savvy business. Mitza has masterfully figured out how to turn all of this engagement and trust into a real enterprise.
So here's the playbook. She offers hours of free advice in her live streams, and she's constantly reminding people to put a like to make the YouTube algorithm happy. All that visibility then funnels interested viewers to her main moneymaker, private paid consultations that she offers through a phone number. And by celebrating every single pregnancy, she creates this powerful feedback loop of social proof that just keeps pulling more and more followers in.
So, what does the success of a creator like Mena really tell us? Well, it signals a pretty big shift in where people are going to find certainty and support for some of the biggest challenges in life.
At the end of the day, channels like Mena's are thriving because they fill a fundamental gap. They offer the constant emotional support, the sense of community, and the accessible, empathetic advice that traditional healthcare sometimes struggles to provide. They're not just selling information, they're selling human connection.
Which kind of leaves us with one last question to think about. In this world where we are drowning in information, when we're searching for answers online, what are we really looking for? Is it cold, hard, scientific truth? Or is it that feeling of being seen and heard and understood by someone we actually trust? Maybe the future of expertise is somewhere right in the middle of those two things.